tell us why you're here and something good that came out of today?
Well, I'm here in remembrance of 9/11, and I feel that helping the community is a great way to remember 9/11 and all the people that died, unfortunately.
10 years ago, and 6 hours ago, the events of 9/11 shook this country. Nearly every American was plugged into their TV sets and watched the minute-by-minute devastation of the collapse of the World Trade Centers. However, what is most significant about this aftermath is you. For one of the few times in history, people had set aside their political and cultural differences and came together as Americans. Many of us will never know how it felt to be one of these first responders as United Airlines Flight 175 flew in between the 77th and 85th floors of the World Trade Center. But we do recognize what triumphs in a time of social unrest. Today is about people like you who recognize this power of kindness, altruism, and community pride. You are the people who do what they can with the resources they have. You are our nation's leaders. You are our nation's heroes.
December 7th, 1941, a day which will live in infamy, which is when the American military forces were suddenly attacked in Hawaii. We can go back to November 22nd, 1963, a day which will be remembered as the day that Lee Harvey Oswald assassinated President John F. Kennedy. We can remember January 28th, 1986, the day the Space Shuttle Challenger exploded shortly after liftoff, killing all 7 astronauts. And then we come to September 11th, 2001, which we remember not only for the horror inflicted by the terrorists, which resulted in the deaths of almost 3,000 people, but also for the selfless and heroic actions of the public safety employees, military service members, and ordinary citizens at the World Trade Center, the Pentagon in Washington, D.C., and in the air above the fields of Shanksville, Pennsylvania.
In their memory, I challenge you to do 8 good deeds of charity and service. And when you serve, do it in the names of Asia, Rodney, Bernard, Zoe, Dana, Juliana, and Christine. May they rest in peace. May they never be forgotten. Thank you. I want to be an everyday hero. I want to make a difference with my life by giving up my time to serve others. I challenge you to be an everyday hero. Give your time to your community, a neighbor, or even a stranger.
With 60 pounds of gear strapped to his back, he parks his truck and starts running. He ran through the tunnel all the way to the towers, knowing that he had a wife and 5 kids at home. He went running. Stephen's life and heroic death serve as a reminder not only should we go the extra mile, but how about the extra 2 miles, as Stephen did.
And to them, I say thank you. September 11th is a day to say a silent prayer for the victims of the attacks and their families. Losing a loved one is always very difficult, but to lose someone at the hands of a terrorist, to me, seems unimaginable. I'm proud that our country takes the time each year to honor these victims, one by one, and to let them know that they will never be forgotten.
9/11/2001. Today we remember the families of those killed on 9/11/2001. We will remember those affected, even here in Dacula. We will remember the service of our policemen and firemen and emergency services personnel who suffered injury and death in responding to this attack. We will remember young and old Americans alike that continue to serve in providing aid to others and to other less fortunate countries.
Swelling up in the sun on Church Street, this crazy little girl. I wrote a note, a letter you will never